Before we proceed, I want to see prospective scientists here. If you know you want to become a scientist, let me see your hand. Wow. Maybe you want to become a medical doctor, you want to become an engineer. Where are they? All right. That's good. Okay, put down your hands. As the moderator have earlier said, I am here to speak on science club and mathematics. Of course, you know, science club there is a collection of two different words. So we have to see, students, listen to me, please. We have to see the meaning of each word. Please, give us the first slide. The second one, please. We are going to see the meaning of each of the words and see how they are being applied. Then we will now see the collective meaning of science club. First of all, we have to see what science is all about. From the screen, we say science is a systematic study of nature and the physical world through observation, experiment, and evidence in order to understand how things works. Are we together? So, what science deals with is to study nature, is to see how things works in the universe. Are we together? So science finds problems and work out solutions to those problems. But these solutions can never be achieved if they do not follow pattern. They are pattern that scientists follow for them to get their results. And this pattern is what is called scientific method. It's what is called what? Scientific method. I believe most of you know what scientific method is all about. Just one students. Who can tell me or give me two scientific methods you know? All right, please. Asking questions, observing things. Good, thank you. I want to start with that before I come to the other ones. Asking questions, observing things. Scientists often observe things. They look at things around them and ask questions. How did this thing work? What brought about this? Are we there? Now, for instance, a scientist will look at a car very well and ask questions. What happened that a car moved? What is the reason behind the movement of a car? And maybe you're sick. A scientist will have to ask questions that what happened that you are sick? Now, the scientist will further his research by using one of the methods called observation. Called what? Observation. Let us first of all raise a problem. For instance, how do you know? Let me ask you, how do you know that your classmate is sick? How do you know that your classmate is sick? If the person have not tell you, who can tell me? Who can give me an answer? If your classmate is sick, how do you know? Okay, sorry. The person's behavior. All right. I think you can only see the person's behavior with the use of the eyes, right? That means we observe using what? The eyes. So scientists will first of all raise a problem and observe what it is. What is the particular thing that caused this problem? And what are the solutions to this problem? For instance, if that person that is sick, if you want to find solution to this problem, you first of all look at the signs, the symptoms that this person is expressing. Are we together? Please stop writing, listen to me. He will first of all look at what kind of things are coming out of you. For instance, your eyes may be red. He may take a body examination, maybe test your skin and discover that your body is very hot and you don't like food, you lost appetite. Now the scientists will predict, are we together? Will predict a kind of test to be run on you. Are we there? It's from the observation that he knows the kind of test that they should be run, that should be run on you. For instance, if it is malaria that is disturbing you, you discover that you have headache, you begin to feel shivering, cold. Are we together? So from there, the scientist, the doctor, will know the kind of test to be prescribed to you. Now they will not tell the technician that should run malaria test for you. So that result that they took to the technician that should run a malaria test for you is what is referred to as hypothesis. Are we there? is a kind of raw fact, but not concluded. You understand what I'm saying? Are we together? So he will now work on what the doctor has given him. At the end of it all, he will now come with a result. So science raise problem, they find problem and look for solutions. Are we together? Now, then what is crop? Please bring the slide for me. Let's see what crop is all about. The next one, please. We say club is an organized group of people, especially students, who come together regularly because they share the same interest or activity. Now, let me tell you one thing, one characteristic with the scientists. Are we together? All the scientists, they have basic characteristics that make them alike, that make them have the same interests. Are we there? They have the same interest on a particular thing. That means all they are doing, all that the scientist is doing, is to find solution to problem after they have identified problems. So a club is not a collection of people who have this same mindset, who share the same interest over a particular thing. Now let's see what a science club is all about. We said a science club is therefore a group of students who share the same activity and have common interest in science and innovation. It is learning beyond the classroom. So one thing about the science club is that you are not limited to what the teachers give you in the class. You learn beyond the classroom. Problems are being raised and solutions are being found to it. Now, let me raise a problem and see if we can find a solution. What happened that they can't move? What happened that they can't move? That is what causes motion. Who can answer that question? What causes motion? Is what? Force, right? Force causes motion. Is friction. Are we there? Friction. In cars, before a car can move on the road, there must be friction. Are we together? That is why if a car gets to a slippery place, the car cannot move faster. The tire will just be rotating. So scientists normally look at these things and find out solutions. Are we there? Now let us see. Next slide, please. Let us see the objectives of a scientist. The objectives of a science club. Now, look at number one objectives of a science club is to create interest in science. Of course, we know that science is very wide. Science has a lot of career opportunities. And many people have lost interest in science because they do not have a proper foundation. But with the help of science club, the interest of students is being triggered. Are we together? We also have encouraged practical learning. In science club, we do not do with theory the way we did in the class. This one is practical. Students, are we together? It is practical. We see it with our eyes, we feel it with our hands. The next one is to develop problem solving skill. If you are in a science club, one of the things that you have is to have the skill of solving problems. You'll be able to solve problems no matter how it is. The number 4 is to promote creativity and innovation. Now let me go back to olden days computers. You know, olden days computers used to consume much power. They carry much power, like this generator that we on here. If you want to put on those olden days computers, you cannot on up to 5 or 6 of them at a time because they consume more power. But with the help of science club, students have been able to learn innovation, how to reduce its power consumption and bring it to a mind. Like now, as we on this one, you can power up to 10-15 computers at the same time because innovation have taken place. Are we there? So in science club, it will promote creativity and innovation. You create a lot of things. Then the number 6 is to support teamwork and leadership. Let me move to the next one. To improve understanding of science subjects. Give me an example of science subject, you know. Example of science subject. Science subject. Mathematics. What again? Biology is there. Physics is there. Intermediate science is there. Chemistry is there, right? Now, if you are in the science club, it will trigger your interest and give you more understanding of what this subject deals with. Are we together? Now, the next thing is that inviting these activities, organizing debate and discussion on scientific topic. Now, if you are in the science club, look at what will happen. We will organize debates on science topic. For instance, there was a debate between two scientists who argued that a flesh of an animal can decay even when not exposed to the atmosphere. The other one said it can never decay if you do not expose it to the atmosphere. He stated his reason that when you expose a fresh meat like an animal flesh to the atmosphere, the insects will come and perch on it and now drop some maggot on it. That is when decay can take place. The other one said no, that is not the only reason that these things decay, but as a result of bacteria that are in the body of that animal, it can cause it to decay. Now they have to carry out a practical work to prove their points. What did they do? The other one brought a flesh animal, the flesh of an animal, and exposed it to the atmosphere. Are we there? It keeps it outside where flies can go around. Then the other one caught his own and put it inside a flask and cock it and leave it where flies cannot go. But at the end of it all, they discovered that the one in the fruit flask decay also, like the one that was exposed. And then he now concluded that animals do not only decay, dead animals do not only decay when exposed to the atmosphere, but they can also decay even when they are being hidden because they contain bacteria in them. This is because they raise a problem. They bring a topic. Are we together? They bring a topic and discuss on it. Please give us the next slide. The next one, please. Mathematics. Now, science cannot work effectively without the knowledge of maths. Now, look at what that statement said. Say, closely related to science is mathematics, which is the foundation of all scientific activities. Now, listen to this statement. He said, although I know that most students have great phobia, have great fear for mathematics, and this is because their mindset, just like what the HM said, their mindset, this is because of their mindset. Mathematics is hard, so they say. So a lot of people have lost interest in maths because of their mindset. They have concluded that they cannot solve maths because mathematics is hard. So if you work on your mindset, if you begin to have interest and be willing to learn maths, I assure you today that you can solve maths effectively. Take us to the next slide, please. Let us see what solving maths has to do with our lives. What contribution that solving maths has to do with us. One of the contributions there is that it develops problem solving skill. Are we together? Are we there? Great Nigerian students. Great Nigerian students. You are distracted with biscuits. Eh? Your interest has been taken away with just biscuits. We are talking about mathematics here. Are we together? That if you develop your interest in maths, if you start solving maths, one of the benefits you have is that it will, please, the slide before this one. It will develop, you will develop problem solving skill. You'll be able to handle multiple problems because through the activities you have engaged yourself, your brain have enlarged. You have the ability to solve problems now. Then it builds logical and critical thinking. Of course, as I have earlier said, you'll be able to think critically. Foundation of science and technology. Of course, maths is a foundation of all science and technology. So I assure you today that if you develop your interests, if you show forth your interests and be willing, mathematics will be good for you and you will have a lot to appreciate from maths. Please, the next slide. Next slide, please. Now, let's see benefit of joining science club and loving mathematics. It says what? Better academic performance. Of course, you know, when we are in science club, we are going to join hands together. We teach ourselves. We raise problem and find solution to this problem. So as a result of you working together with these people, just like what our principal said, he said that 5%, the average of 5 people is you. The people you work with actually shape you. So by the time that you work with the scientists in the science club, you discover that you perform better in your academic. Then confidence in solving problem. Of course, as you see the next person doing his thing confidently, and you may not have any atom of confidence in you, as a result of working together with these people, you know, characters transmit. Are we there? Are we together? Are we together? That biscuit is like it's too sweet. So when you work together with the people who have the ability to think, who have the ability to solve problems, definitely you also will be able to do what they do. That is why they say, show me your friend and I will tell you who you are. So working with scientists will also build in you science. Now the next one is said, exposure to careers in science and technology. Of course, as you work in the science club, you'll be exposed to a lot of careers in sciences. There are many careers in sciences. Now I want to ask you a question. Who can list, like, give me 2 careers in science that you know? 2 careers in science. 2 careers in science. Stop writing. The note is here. 2 careers that you know in science. All right, James. Medical doctor, right, is one of the career. Okay, another one. Sonny? Engineers. All right, so as you work in the science club, you'll be exposed to scientific careers and technology. Now, let's look at the number 4, development of leadership and teamwork skill. Of course, you know that in science club, we work together. We rub minds together. We share ideas. And somebody will come up with a problem and say, how can we solve this? And this other will suggest that let's take it this way. Let's take this as a first step. Let's do this first of all. From there, your own ability, your own skill will be sharpened. Are we together? Then let's see the last one. Preparation for future what? Challenges. Of course, if you are in a science club, you'll be prepared for future challenges. Are we together? Are we together? So by the time that you join the science club now, and you begin to learn things that doctors do, by the time that you get into the field, you will not have much challenge because you already learned them from the secondary school level when you join the science club. Are we there? For the sake of time, let's see the conclusion. Conclusion, please. He said the science club is therefore for everybody. It's not only people who are brilliant. It's not only people who are intelligent that are to join science club. Being you intelligent or not, joining the science club, you will have more benefits. It will sharpen you. From there, what is in you will be triggered out. He said, a science club is a group where students come together to explore science beyond classroom. Science club and mathematics help develop our mind, discover new ideas, and prepare for the future. So I encourage every one of you, that you should develop your interest for science club. It will help you a lot. Any question? Any question? I should ask you a question. What have you learned from science club? What have you learned so far? Okay, God's favor, you're telling us. You have not learned anything. Simon. Yes, in science club, we carry out what? Research. We look at problems and bring out solution to them. For instance, can you remember the people that came here last time? They came and immunized us. They introduced a vaccine into your body. Are we there? The scientists, they predict something ahead, that a kind of disease is about to spread. So we have to come and introduce vaccine in the body of our children so that they can be protected from this. So when you're in science club, your mindset will be sharpened. You begin to have ideas of what is happening ahead. Of course, you know that in science, they predict what is happening like tomorrow, what is happening like next year. Are we together? So I encourage you all to join the science club. Thank you all.